happens every day is you have edge cases that weren't tested properly or just weren't understood by the development team, or you have things being misused either intentionally or just what feels natural or whatever. These systems that we rely on are so incredibly complicated. The number of inputs and outputs is so ridiculous. You can never actually prove that everything works. And you're changing them all the freaking time. So, you know, without, yeah, and the fact is, if you're a large company that has access to big data talent, that has millions of dollars to spend on data pipelining at scale, like we're talking about, that also builds in protection around things like GDPR and proper security and all of that, you're talking very big ticket items, very big ticket spend, that it's just simply priced out of the range of what most mid-sized companies are going to be able to afford. Right. Especially if you're not ostensibly a tech company and that's not really your core competency. If you're Wells Fargo or Toyota Motor USA or United Airlines, like, you know, you're not looking to spend 10 million. I mean, that's just, you know, your job's to keep the planes running, not to build big data pipeline architectures. They just don't have that appetite for those high price point systems and the high price talent that comes with it. And it's also a scarce resource. I think we have a big opportunity to provide that same kind of value, but at a price point and at a level of care and feeding that just about anybody who's doing API driven things would be able to consume this as part of their infrastructure. I'm absolutely stumping for the little guy. Do you know how many hundreds of vendors were kicked off of Amazon Marketplace last year when Amazon, at the moment when Amazon thought that they had a better product or something as good, where Amazon now had more data about their customer base than those particular vendors did? I mean, it's hundreds, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of like ex-Amazon vendors that their businesses really don't belong to them anymore.
Right.
You know, I mean, your data about your customers is the lifeblood of your business. And unfortunately, we're in a marketplace where you have this choice between, well, I can either build the kind of system that I need for millions of dollars and take a long time to do that, or I can hand my data off to these giant corporations that in no way have my best interests at heart and then have rights to reuse my data.
Right.
And not to mention the ever-present risk of, well, what happens if some other vendor buys that company down the road and now all my data ends up in the hands of some other company that I never wanted it. Another way that comes out just emotionally is like GDPR came out, CCPA came out. How did people react to that, right? There's a lot of people saying like, hell yeah, like finally, it's about time, we should be pushing back, right? But then there's a lot of other people who are legitimately saying like, okay, well, those are all really great ideas, but how am I supposed to implement that? Like, there's no like off-the-shelf GDPR compliant database I can buy where it's just like, I just put it in the budget for next year, problem solved, like no more privacy issue, we just move on, it's fixed. Like, it's great that we're trying to establish a higher level of care. And that's what that legislation is about. But until you actually have real buy versus build options that are available to the people that are building these systems, you can't really expect things to change overnight.